Okay, so procrastination. What is the cost of being a master procrastinator, if I can say so myself? For me at least, it has cost me time, it has cost me money, and also it has cost me health. Let's talk about it. Hey, my name is Moses Kabandana. I love to bring you the tools that facilitate your personal development. So if you're getting value from this video, give it a thumbs up. Let's get right into it. Why has procrastination cost me time? First of all, if you are a master procrastinator, you know that you can get a lot done in a short period of time. But to get you to actually do what you need to do, man, it takes you a lot of time. So what that translates to is you end up taking a lot of time doing absolutely nothing, and then a very small amount of time getting things actually done. So I say that procrastination has cost me a lot of time because I've literally spent a lot of time doing nothing. And I'm really good at justifying the nothingness, right? So let's say, for example, that I spent 3 hours listening to a podcast or watching a video podcast. I can justify that by saying, hey, I am satisfying my intellectual curiosity, and so it is worth the 3 hours. And sometimes that is true. Not all the time. Not most of the time. Most of the time I have the illusion, the perception that I am understanding something without actually learning anything. That concept, I got it from a video by Veritasium, I believe, that was just going into the intricacies of the learning e-platforms / long form content on YouTube, and you have this sensation that you are understanding something, but you're not really learning anything because it's impossible to learn 3 hours worth of content. And if you're anything like me and you like to watch multiple episodes of 2 to 3 hour long podcasts, you might walk away thinking or feeling that you've actually learned a lot, but can you actually put that into practice? And this is why I say that I'm losing a lot of time, because if, for instance, I were to watch a 3 hour long podcast on the benefits of enhancing my cardiovascular activity, and I actually went out into the real world and I ran and I swam and I did jumping jacks and I actually put the things that I learned in the podcast into practice, then that would not be a waste. But most of the times I don't. Sometimes I do, and it's important for me to give value to that. But a lot of the times I don't, and that's when I waste a lot of time. I waste a lot of time when I trick myself into thinking that I'm getting value from something, when I'm just wasting time if I don't put into practice what I learned. And that's a small example of how procrastination costs me time. In my head, to procrastinate is to do something for the sake of doing something instead of doing what I'm actually supposed to be doing. So keep that in the back of your mind. Another thing that procrastination costs me is money, because, well, time is money. The time that I spend avoiding to do the things that I need or should be doing is time that I could be investing into growing my own net worth, but I don't. And last but most certainly not least, procrastination has cost me health. All of this, by the way, is 190% my own fault, but procrastination costs me health because I want to be a healthy individual. I want to go run, I want to go swimming, I want to do things that are good for my own health, but I don't. I like to have the conceptual understanding that running, swimming, and eating well, eating healthy is good for me. But because I hardly ever take the next step, which is to actually put things into practice, it is costing me health, and that really sucks. So what is the remedy for my own procrastination? Man, I have a conceptual understanding, but in practice, it is so much difficult. The steps that I have identified that work for me is figure out a goal. So let's say I want to start running again, and break down that goal into very small actionable steps. So instead of saying I want to start running so that I can increase my cardiovascular endurance, it's to say Monday, Wednesday, and let's say Friday, I will run for 5 minutes. It is very specific, but not specific enough for someone like me. So I would have to say Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. I will run for 5 minutes. So then those are actionable steps at particular times in particular days of the week. That's what works for me. I just haven't figured out a way of doing things without being that specific. One of the reasons that I do it that way is because I'm trying to build a habit. And in order for me to build a habit, I have to be consistent. I have to be very specific about a very particular thing, and I have to be consistent with it across time until the habit is built. Once it becomes a habit, then I don't have to run, at 5 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I can change it to a Thursday, to a Sunday. I can change it to 5 p.m. instead of 8 a.m. But not for too long, right? I still have to come back to that baseline, to that schedule that I previously established. All of this is to say it is 100% my own fault for being a chronic procrastinator. I don't know if I can put myself in the category of a chronic procrastinator, but knowing how much I procrastinated and how much I could be actually accomplishing if I was not this bad of a procrastinator, that's what forced me to sit down and think, man, what is this actually costing me? What's the cost of my procrastination? If you got any value from this video, give it a thumbs up. My name is Kabandana, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.